This episode is sponsored by
My Local CFO, helping you build stronger growth by connecting your financial picture to your operational goals. Follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn at My Local CFO or visit their website at www.mylocalcfo.com.
Hey, it's the More Than I Do podcast with
Derek and Sherelle.
So good to see you today and be here today in season 2, the first episode of 2021.
Wow. This last year kind of flew by.
It did. With all the craziness, it flew by. You know, we wanted to come to you in episode 2, and we started a little bit in December and then took a break and did some throwbacks and wanted to come back. And we decided that this season needed to be about
back to the basics.
Getting back to the basics, baby. You know, after a year like 2020, where everything was kind of tumbling and bumbling and all of that stuff was happening and who knows what else, you know, that's when I say to my clients, that's when I say to people, sometimes you just need to go back to those basics. And that's exactly what we decided to do with this show. And so this show, we want to talk to you. Our topic today is
too busy to get it right.
Too busy to get it right.
Well, you can't let me go on vacation.
Uh-oh. All right, we're going to knock the dust off and get it going. But you know, when we talk about too busy to get it right, a lot of times we're busy in our lives, we're busy in our businesses, and things that we need to do, things that we should do. I don't know about you guys, but you know, in 2020, you had time to slow down just a little bit and put some things back into perspective.
Yeah, we did that with a lot of our clients. You know, things kind of slowed down and you can go and tighten up on some of those things that needs to be tightened up on so that you can fully accelerate basically when the time is right.
That's it. So that's what the getting back to basics is. But like I said, today we're talking about too busy to get it right. I did a Facebook Live probably about 2-3 years ago, and we wanted to show a small clip from that, and we'll be back right after this. So today I wanted to talk about too busy to get it right. You know, today someone told me on the phone that I like your service, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to refer you to friends like I refer other people that I use, but I'm just too busy right now to take your service. I'm just too busy. So I'm just going to go with this other person, and I'm going to go with them because they don't require me to sit down with them. They don't require as much information as you need from me, and I just don't have that kind of time at all. And I sat there and I said, you know what? Number one, this is sad. Number two, this will make a great Facebook Live because as business owners, we wear multiple hats and we're busy all the time. We are like tons and tons and tons busy. I mean, we stay busy forever. But the thing is, sometimes to get it right, to move forward, we have to add that extra thing to our plate. And when that service or person or whatever it is that we're looking for in our business, whenever that comes into our lives and we decide to take something that we know is not going to 100% put us where we need to be, but we take it because it's the easy road, what are you really doing to yourself? And what are you really doing to your business? You know, that clip, it was about 3 years old, but it's so relevant to today.
Yeah, I remember having that initial meeting with that client and just had a sad feeling once we left because, you know, you should never be too busy to get it right.
You know, even as husband and wife, you're really, really busy because at least, you know, when you have a partner that's not a spouse, they have some leeway in a different way than you have leeway. But when you're a spouse, if something happens tragic or good or bad or indifferent, it's happening to both of you guys at the same time. So busy takes on a whole nother sense a whole nother definition of busy, right? If the kids get sick, both of you got to deal with that.
Yeah. It just goes back to something that my father taught me growing up. Do it right the first time. You're wasting time, you're wasting money, you're wasting resources if you half do it and then have to go back and do it again.
Yeah, that for sure. So as we get into it, let's just jump into this today. The first thing that I want to talk about is your yes means no and your no means yes. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, but that's very confusing.
I know it is. It's very confusing. So a lot of times, being a busy person, we'll say yes and have a plate full of stuff and stuff falling off of our plates and trying to catch up with things and all of that stuff, which means that you're really saying no to priorities.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy to say yes.
Yeah.
It's very easy to say yes. It's hard to say no, especially when you have that negative feeling that the other person is going to have against you for saying no.
Yeah.
But sometimes no is the real answer.
Because no can mean yes.
Mm-hmm.
No means yes to the priorities, yes to the things that you need to take care of, yes to being present in the moment and not somewhere else because you've said no to things so that you could, be here, right now. And that's what I mean by yes means no and no means yes. Because when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else in your life. And I don't think we've ever looked at things like that before. So when we're busy people, number one, my question to you, to me, to you out there is everything that's keeping you busy. Do you have to do it?
That's very good. That's very good and very interesting because the reality is you don't have to do everything. There's other people that can do certain things. We work through this with some of our clients. We work through this in our marriage as well. Yeah. Just looking at the task that has to be done. And even though it has to be done, do you have to do it? I remember one of those things is I use this analogy all the time, cutting the grass.
Yeah.
Yes, it's something that has to be done, but do I have to do it? I don't have to do it. I just need to make sure it gets done.
So let's talk about this story for a minute. Let's just slow down and talk about this story right here.
I should have talked about the housekeeper.
I know, but we can get to the housekeeper too. I mean, hey, you can put my business in the street. It's all right.
Hey, mine's is in the street, so we're out there together.
We're out there together. So I remember when we first got married and we first built our house and we had this yard and I'm looking at this yard and the first thing you say is, I need to go buy
a grass mower.
And I said, no, we need to hire somebody. You were like, are you crazy? Okay,
that's right. Because I'm from the country. I've cut grass since I was I've been driving a little riding grass mower since I was a kid, sitting in my dad's lap. I know how to cut grass.
Not only your grass, but
my grandmother's grass, friends' grass down the neighborhood because everybody's family anyway. Yes. So I know how to cut grass.
So you know how to cut grass.
I knew how to cut grass.
But here we are out of college, a little bit older, haven't been on any lawnmowers, riding or pushing in forever.
True.
With careers, moving and having a lot of stuff to do. And I remember your process for getting ready for cutting the grass. Do you remember your process?
Yeah, it was a long process, guys. So first I had to get my mind right. So that Saturday morning, I had to spend a couple hours just to get my mind right that I got to go out here in this hot sun and cut grass, right? So after I did that and got my mind right, then I could actually go do it. Doing it about 3 hours because I didn't buy a riding grass mower because my mind said, well, it's not that big of a yard. You can push that. I should have had a riding mower. But anyway, I had 3 hours doing that. So now I'm 5 hours in. But then after I'm done, I'm really done. So I don't have it takes me another 3 to 5 hours to
No, baby,
recuperate.
the rest of the day. The rest of the day, darling.
Can I have
3 to 5 hours. All right. 3 to 5 hours.
So now what? We're 8 to 10 hours in.
The day is gone.
The day is gone for me to cut grass. Somebody who knows how to cut grass. So that was my process in cutting grass.
Yeah, and in that process, what you learned was
I can pay somebody to cut the grass who is a professional that has all the right equipment. Zip, zip, zip. 45 minutes, they're in and out, and I can pay them, and I have 10 free hours. So I can say yes to something else.
So you can say yes to something else. Absolutely. So you can say yes to something else, whether it is something you're doing in your business, whether it's something with the family, because you don't necessarily have to be here for them to cut the grass. There's been plenty of times that we've come home and like, oh, they stopped by, they cut the grass. It looks great. All right, put a check in the mail or deposit or whatever it is. So with that being said, okay, now you can step on my toes. Go ahead.
Okay. The process of hiring the housekeeper.
Which I don't know if this is going to end well for you, but okay.
It never does, but it's okay.
So same thing in the house. I think when we first got married, and in another episode in our season 1, we talk about how when we got married, Derek's idea was he takes care of the outside, I take care of the inside. And he quickly realized that that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Number 1, he does the outside maybe 2-3 months out of the year, and the inside is done 12 months.
Well, cutting grass season is a longer season than 2 or 3 months. But to be fair, I did pay somebody to take that off my plate. So really, I had no duties on the outside.
No duties on the outside, right? You're just managing at this point, which is fine. But inside the house is the same thing, because here it is. I'm busy. I'm working, I am moving, and I don't have time. And I don't mean it in a privileged way or a snobbish way or anything like that. But it goes back to your yes and your no, right? Do I have time to do I have time to say, yeah, I can clean the toilet, I can straighten up, I can do the laundry, all of those things? Or do I have time to say, no, I don't have time for that. Yes, let me hire someone. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
We won't go into any of those other things right now.
Just to be fair, just growing up, I've never had a housekeeper before. So I'm thinking, why do I want somebody in my house to clean it? We have each other. We can do some teamwork, tag team, and get this done.
Is this we again? You learn French?
I did. Hey, that I do, that fine print on that contract, I tell you, it's something serious.
It's something serious. You better read it. You need a magic pen to read it.
Yes.
But no, the serious thing is saying yes to hiring a housekeeper inside meant that I guy. Saying yes to hiring the lawn guy to take care of our lawn meant that Derek could leverage his time. Now the question is, what do I fill that time with?
Yeah. Things that is going to propel you to your goals. We talk about this when we are building plans for your marriage or building plans for your business. Know where your end goal is.
Yes.
And once you know what your end goal is, when questions come up, it's easy to say yes or no, because you know whichever one is going to get you closer to your goals.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so as a family unit, our housekeeper and our lawn keeper, they are blessed. We are blessed to have them. They're part of the glue that keep us moving and being maintained and being able to do all the other things that we need to do. And we are out of sorts when we don't have them.
Yeah. During 2020, the situation we was in, they couldn't come. The housekeeper couldn't come.
Right.
And she was missing her a little bit. I was seriously missing her. And,
because that meant more work for him. That's what that was.
Yeah. Hey, truth.
And so knowing that and meeting your goals, whether family, whether business. So we talk kind of like of the family inside the house, that type of thing. And when the kids lived here, now don't get it twisted. When the kids lived here, they were still responsible for their spaces, or they had to pay the housekeeper.
That's right.
They had to, I'm not paying the housekeeper for your space. We work hard. That's why we have a housekeeper. If you want them to clean up your room and your bathroom, then you're going to have to figure that out, or you're going to have to do it yourself.
That's true.
But she used to spoil them when they
course.
lived here.
Of course.
And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, you're going to pay them. Give me the money and I'll make sure. Reimburse me. It's okay. It's all right.
Yes.
So then we talk about that, and we talk from family point. But when we look at all of those things and think about it, it really goes together about being too busy to get it right.
That's
Your
right.
yes and your no have to be clear.
Definitely.
Have to be clear.
Have to be clear. Yes.
Your when to hire help or hiring help is clearer because of your yes and no.
That's right.
Right? So in the business, rather than saying I have to do everything myself, you can say, no, I need to hire, and yes, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
And you can take this piece.
You know, I challenge everybody out there who always constantly say, I'm too busy. Write down all the things that you do. Write them down on a piece of paper. And then you can easily go down that list and check, is this something that I have to do, or is this something that I can manage? And I guarantee you'll be able to find someone to help you do the things that you can actually just manage to make sure it gets done.
In one of the programs that I ran, I had a participant in there, and she owned a magazine company.
Okay.
And she said, I have to do the layout of the magazine. And I said, no, you don't. And she's like, no, you don't understand. I do. I said, no, you absolutely don't have to do the layout. What you have to do is approve the layout.
That's right.
But someone else can take the time to do the layout. What else could you be doing? Give that time while they're doing the layout. And it was, as a light bulb went off, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. So a lot of times we look at things and say, I have to order the inventory. No one else can order the inventory but me. But who can make the list? Who can go ahead and put it in the cart? Now, you may not give them the credit card, or you may, depending on how big of a company you are or not, they may have access to pay or not. But what can they do so that you're managing the process and not actually physically doing the process?
Yeah.
That frees you up.
Definitely. We have a client right now that, payroll. You don't have to key in all those hours for the actual payroll for your huge staff.
With spreadsheets and spreadsheets.
You can have an admin go in and key in the hours.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is sit back and approve the hours and make sure everything looks right, and hit a button and payroll is processed.
Right. But hiring is not just people. Hiring could be automation.
Definitely. Automation is taking over.
And then if you automate before you hire, guess what happens? You've saved money, number one.
Yep.
Number two, you're not just hiring someone to take on all the stuff that you don't want to do, and they become a second you that's too busy to get it right. But number three, now you know exactly where you need to hire through the process and exactly what to train people on.
Yeah, that's definitely important, because we've seen clients and people hire just because I'm super busy.
Yep.
Let me hire someone, but then that person never really becomes 100% efficient because you really hadn't laid out what you want them to do.
And they're doing 25 million different things. Yes, 25 million different things. I said it.
That is a number.
That's a number. That's a number. Yes. 100%. Now, what else would be after automation? And what do you say? What is automation? Let me just back up real quick so you understand. What is automation? What does that mean when you say automate? So there are email sequences, right? So right now I can go and I go to or meet people. I can put them in my phone, and then things happen without me,
Mhm.
right? Email for them, hey, let's connect, with a link for them to go to my calendar. My calendar, then they pick the time that they want. And guess what? It shoots them a calendar appointment with a Zoom.
Mhm.
It shoots me the calendar appointment, and it's now on my calendar. Guess what it then does? Then from there, I got to follow up with them and make sure that they know that the appointment's happening. It texts them and it sends email reminders.
Wow.
No person, so that's what we used to use a VA or an admin for, to do
Mhm.
all of those things. That's happening in the background. So and there's some things that you need a personal touch for, right? There's some things that we need to have a person to call for. Now we know where to put that person.
Mhm.
But automation allows us, number one, to figure out our process,
Mhm.
get it together, do a lot of things in the background. I can be sleeping and people can be scheduling appointments, right?
Yep.
I can be off on an appointment talking to someone, and there's other things happening that I don't have to be involved in.
Mhm.
That's what automation means. That's automating certain things in your business and certain things in the process of your business, but also allowing you to get it out your head. Because some of y'all, now I'm talking to these small businesses now, some of y'all have it all in your head, and then when somebody tries to come to help, you don't have time because it's only in your head.
That's right.
And so it's like, I might as well just do it. Again, putting all of that stuff back on your plate.
Mhm.
So now I know we're talking about too busy to get it right, meeting your goals. So now, yes and no, we're hiring, whether it's people or automation.
Mhm.
Now we're very clear on what our goals are and how we're going to get there, because we have the right things in place to get us there. Now we're clear again on the family side, now on the business side, what to say yes to, what to say no to.
Yeah. You know, I growing up on a farm with my dad, you know, it really comes down to what I learned is having the proper tools. And when you have the proper tools, you can get the job done.
You can get the job done.
Yeah, it's tough to get the job or meeting your goals done or completed if you don't have the proper tools. You can't write a letter without having a pen or a pencil. Well, you could have a feather with it, some ink, right?
Feather and ink.
But
you went old school.
Right. But you need the proper tools
Right.
to write
Right.
an actual letter.
Right. And that's why a lot of people are too busy to get it right, because you don't have the proper tools. You won't slow down. Think about driving in a car.
Mhm.
You're driving at a maximum speed and you need to make a turn.
Mm.
Can I turn at that maximum speed?
Probably not without flipping over the car.
Without flipping over and causing danger to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Same with life, right?
That's right.
Business or personal. Same with life. I have to slow down in order to be able to accelerate faster. Even when you're changing gears,
Mhm.
sometimes you downshift to accelerate faster and then you shift back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sometimes you have to slow down. So when you're too busy to get it right, now we talked about all the good things that you can do. Now let's talk about when you don't. When you just say, I'm too busy to get it right. What are those consequences?
Well, going back to your analogy about driving the car, you're going to miss the turn. You can't turn. So
the opportunity
or the goal that you was heading towards is now you're going the opposite direction of the goal that you're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And it may cost you in time, like you talked about earlier.
Time, money, resources.
To turn around to get back to it. And you may not be able to get back to it.
That's right.
You see those exits where it says exit only? Like if you exit off, you can't get back on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is only going one way.
That's right. Yeah. You know, and the reality of it with small businesses, it boils down to family time.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the reasons we started our business.
Yeah.
To allow business owners some flexibility and freedom, because you're building your business for your family, right? But most people.
Yes.
Most people.
Yes.
But if you're spending all your time
our people.
But if you're spending all of your time in the business, you're building it for the family, but you're not spending time with the family.
Right.
And so
because you're going around in the wheel.
Going around on the wheel. And so What I'm trying to tell you is you have to take the time to slow down and stop, because if not, you're going to keep going and you're going to be at a time of retirement. You're going to look back and your family has grown. You've missed birthdays, you missed vacation, you've missed certain things, and now you want to hand over a business to a child who you originally built it for, but they want no parts of it because they saw all the stress and all the headaches and all the time that you spent in it. They have a different mindset these days.
A freedom for one.
Freedom right.
For one. So let's go back really quickly, because I want to make sure that we close the loop on the video and the clip that we saw.
Okay.
And I want to close that loop because in it, I wasn't upset about not getting the contract. I was more sad for the prospective client, because we could see the wear and tear. We could see that they had the service. Oh my gosh, amazing.
The service was an excellent service that I could have seen us using down the line.
Yes, 100%. But it was because of the drain, because of the tiredness that they already had from the business and all that they put in the busyness that they had in the business. Slowing down to them almost meant stopping. When really slowing down meant someone taking things off your plate. Just explain, because no one could come in your business and just start doing stuff in your business. And that's what we think when we hire people, that, they should just come in. And it's like, did they get training or answer questions or, anything? You got to tell me something.
Right.
But even in that, it was that we needed that time with them so that we could take those things off of their plate, so that they could have more freedom in their lives. Because it was a couple. It was a couple in business, so that they could have those freedoms in their lives. But they couldn't see that because they were so deep in the day-to-day and what needed to happen. And I can't stop.
Yeah, think about this. Think about carrying a case of water, carrying a case of water. And they were, walking along carrying a case of water. All we were trying to do is get them to stop so that we could properly pull that case of water off of them. Now, instead of walking with a case of water, they can run with nothing on their hands.
100%. And that's really what we say. I think that's a great analogy for being too busy to get it right. That right there. Think about that as you're making decisions for your family and in your business. Decisions of, do I have time to get it right? Well, if you get it right, then that burden or that load, is it going to be lighter? Is it going to be lifted? Is it going to be help that's coming in? And if that's so, then you can't be too busy to get it right.
That's right.
Unless you just want to stay on that wheel.
And some people want to stay on the wheel.
Hey, if you want to be on the wheel, be on the wheel.
That's right. But
no judgment here.
No judgment. It really boils down to what you want. A lot of times we say we want to start a business and grow a business, but really what we're saying to ourselves is we want a job and we want to keep a job for ourselves and work on our own without any bosses or whatnot. But when you stop the business, when it's time to retire or something happens and you're sick and you can't work, then you really don't have a business. You just had a job that you have to get up and go and do. But if you had a business, then when you retire or when you're sick and you're down for 5-10 days, business is still going. Money is still being made.
100%. 100% about that. And as a couple, being too busy to get it right is a detriment of your family.
That's right.
Whether it's business or whether it's at home, it's detriment because it's the two of you. Like I said, it's not a partner in another house. It's the two of you guys. And so when you're too busy to get it right, you're causing more stress on yourselves. You're probably tension in the relationship, tension in the household that leads down to the kids because kids can feel that. Tension to the staff that's in the business with you or contractors that are with you. that tension is there. And let me just tell you, it can be felt 100%. But just sitting down and taking inventory, like Derek said earlier, just sitting down, what are all the things that you need done? Do you need to be the one to do them or not? And if not, then let's start figuring out ways to find those resources that you need, whether it's in the house or whether it's at jobs. I know we don't have little ones
No.
and we don't have kids together. But one of the things that people have said, especially family, from day one, they've said, when you guys have kids, we already know hands down what, babe?
But they're gonna be spoiled?
No, well, that's what I would have given. But they're gonna be spoiled, but no, loved. My idea of spoiled is loved.
Okay.
But no, that we're gonna have a nanny.
Oh, definitely.
You're like, with your lifestyle and the way you go and the things that you do and all of that stuff, not unless COVID just keeps us home, in that meantime. I hope not, but
no, I'm ready to get out.
You're gonna have to have a nanny. And they told us that. We've been married 16 years and they told us that from day one.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I mean, because I understand the things that we need to accomplish to get to our goals. And sometimes we're gonna need help.
Yep. 100%.
And really what it boils down to, we're going to need help to get to our goals. And so with that being said, we're going to use every resource available to us to help us get to our goal. That's how serious we are about getting to that goal.
That's right. You're right. Team James. Absolutely. So let me just say this.
What's that?
I hope that you're taking inventory as you're listening to us. And I hope that you're looking at places, even if you've said before in the past, I'm too busy. I hope you listen and you change those words around to, I'm not too busy. Let me see where I can pause. Because I can tell you this, when the emergency comes, you're not too busy because everything stops. And so why does everything have to be a fire before you stop? Then you're not getting it right if you're always putting out fires. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That goes back to some of your favorite words, proactive versus reactive. Putting out fires is reactive. Being proactive, doing things so there is no fire.
Look at you listening to me. Get some brownie points today. All right.
Ooh, is those my first brownie points of 2021?
I think they are.
Whoa.
And that's, this is January 7th, so I wouldn't be too happy.
I've been too busy these first 7 days of the year.
But you bring up a good point. Now is the right time, as you were going back to the basics, as you're looking at everything that's in your life and in your business at the beginning of 2021, as we still have some time with COVID situation and things of that nature. Now is the time to not be too busy to get it right. It really is not.
That's right. Yeah. Don't cause yourself a detriment.
Please don't.
Yeah.
We have enjoyed this time with you today, and we want you to plug in. Not only plug in and watch us or listen to us, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear your questions. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear how you feel about some of the things that we're saying. What are you going through? What are the challenges that your marriage challenges, and not just challenges, challenges and triumphs.
That's right. We want to hear the good and the bad.
We want to hear the good and the bad and the ugly. Absolutely. So now that means that we want you to plug into us. Yes. And you can do that by going to
www.morethanIdo.life
and like and follow us on
More Than I Do podcast.
Hey, we've enjoyed. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. And until next time, we just say, have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Stay safe.
Definitely stay safe. Take care.
Bye.
This episode is sponsored by
My Local CFO, helping you build stronger growth by connecting your financial picture to your operational goals. Follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn at My Local CFO, or visit their website at www.mylocalcfo.com.